It's July 25th, 2025. Also known as the day the world clocked in, looked around and said, nope. We've got everything from border wars and climate disasters to presidential lawsuits and redistricting gymnastics. It's like someone took a year's worth of headlines, blended them with jet fuel and court transcripts, and poured it directly into our eyeballs. Let's get into it before another tropical storm forms or Trump sues me for blinking too sarcastically. Segment 1, borderline chaos. Thailand and Cambodia's throwback Thursday war. Thailand and Cambodia are beefing again, because if there's anything Southeast Asia loves, it's a good old-fashioned 12th century temple turf war with 21st century rockets. The border clash escalated for a second day. Cambodia pulled out BM-21 rocket launchers because nothing says, let's talk, like Soviet-era artillery. Thailand fired back with, quote, appropriate supporting fire, which in diplomatic terms is military speak for boom goes your neighborhood. Meanwhile, both sides are accusing each other of shelling civilians and using human shields, which sounds like a legal term, but really just means we're making this worse for everyone. Over 70,000 people have fled, temples have been hit, and ASEAN is trying to negotiate peace by offering mediation like it's a Yelp service. Meanwhile, the UN called an emergency meeting because there's nothing the UN loves more than urgently writing sternly worded letters. Here's the thing. These countries have been having a loop border tantrum since 2011. At this point, it's less of a conflict and more of a tragic subscription service no one can cancel. Press F for the ancient ruins, the displaced villagers, and the concept of ceasefires. Segment 2, Gaza, where diplomacy goes to starve. The Israel-Hamas conflict reached a new level of despair. France announced they'll recognize Palestine at the UN, while the U.S. basically said, mon Dieu, no. Secretary of State Marco Rubio called it Hamas propaganda. France called it Tuesday. Meanwhile, the U.S. and Israel both yanked their negotiators from ceasefire talks like angry parents at a PTA meeting. The U.S. is accusing Hamas of stalling. Hamas is accusing Israel of war crimes. And somewhere in this circle of diplomatic doom, 25% of Gaza's kids are starving. That's not a metaphor. That's an MSF clinic report. Oh, and the U.S. conducted a review and found no evidence Hamas was stealing humanitarian aid. So we disputed that too. Because why trust doctors when you can double down on your own narrative? Meanwhile, major media agencies are begging Israel to let their journalists out of Gaza before they starve too. That's how bad it is. War correspondents are missing their deadline for food. The takeaway, it's not just a war of bombs, it's a war of spin. Aid, press, diplomacy, everything's weaponized. Gaza has become the global stage for diplomatic gaslighting, and the only ones not playing political poker are the children with empty bowls. Segment 3. Tropical Storm Kome slams the Philippines. Tropical Storm Kome decided to spend its summer vacation flooding Luzon, displacing 278,000 people, and knocking out schools, homes, and all optimism. President Marcos Jr. told the public, let's not ask what will happen, the storm will really come, which is both a public safety announcement and the start of every horror movie ever. The U.S. offered $250,000 in aid and maybe a C-130 or two because nothing says friendship like dropping canned beans from a plane. But here's the real gut punch. Kome is just one of 20 typhoons they expect this year. That's not weather, it's a climate-driven endurance test. Declaring a state of calamity has become so routine, the paperwork probably autofills itself. And because it's 2025, the rice prices spiked, shelters are full, and the military is now moonlighting as lifeguards. The climate crisis isn't looming. It's already taken over the guest room and eaten all the snacks. Segment 4. Trump versus the Wall Street Journal. Epstein's birthday book bonanza. Ah, yes, the old I never signed Jeffrey Epstein's birthday book defense. Trump has launched a powerhouse lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal after they published details of a sexually suggestive birthday message allegedly connected to him in a book compiled by Ghislaine Maxwell. Trump says it's fake, J.D. Vance says it's a political hit job, and America says, wait, this is still happening? House Democrats want to subpoena Epstein's estate, the DOJ, and basically every file that might confirm or deny who partied where and with whom. Ghislaine Maxwell is apparently chatting with government officials from prison, probably via the Elite Friends Forever Discord server. The public's confused, the media is divided, and the ghosts of Epstein's network continue to haunt 2025 like the world's worst LinkedIn invite. Segment 5. Clean energy canceled. Welcome to Fossil Fest 2025. In a plot twist no one saw coming, except literally everyone, Trump rolled back every clean energy policy he could find, like a kid erasing homework. Over $22 billion in projects canceled. Fortescue ditched their hydrogen sites, Tesla stock dropped like a solar panel in a MAGA rally, and Trump signing a tax bill that makes electric cars officially un-American. We also pulled funding from the International Energy Agency because apparently climate science now comes with a political warning label. Oh, and the administration eliminated the endangerment finding on greenhouse gases. That's like telling your doctor, I don't believe in cholesterol. The message is clear. If you build it green, Trump will come and shut it down. Segment 6, Texas redistricting. Democracy with a MAGA makeover. Texas is holding redistricting hearings. Translation, partisan Hunger Games. Greg Abbott added redistricting to the state's special session menu like it was a secret sauce for permanent Republican control. Trump says he wants 5 new seats. Because democracy isn't about voting, it's about drawing new lines until you win. Advocacy groups are yelling, rigging, while Republicans are saying, just a little nudge. Meanwhile, Move Texas is organizing like it's the electoral Coachella. And thanks to a Supreme Court ruling in Alabama, this may actually go somewhere. But fair warning, the road to justice is slow, twisty, and usually full of detours labeled pending litigation. Segment 7, other domestic developments, odds, ends, and lawsuits. Elsewhere in the land of chaos, Church World Service sued to reopen refugee resettlement. Because what's more American than welcoming people, except now apparently suing to do it? The Supreme Court paused a ruling that would gut the Voting Rights Act. Translation, democracy gets a stay of execution. The Pentagon pulled out of all think tanks because clearly the best way to win wars is to stop thinking. And finally, Trump's nominee for U.S. Attorney in New Jersey had to withdraw because you can't be nominated and acting at the same time. The legal system works, just very, very slowly and sometimes while holding its breath. In conclusion, so what did we learn today? Borders are exploding, Gaza is starving, the Philippines is drowning, and the U.S. is canceling solar panels like it's a Netflix series that didn't test well in Alabama. If July 25th had a theme, it would be, what could possibly go wrong? Oh, that. We'll be back tomorrow, assuming we haven't all floated away, been redistricted into a crater, or sued by Rupert Murdoch. Stay weird, stay awake, and please don't sign anything addressed from Epstein's estate.